Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Just letting people in here and taking attendance. Just a reminder that you were supposed to upload your soapstone to Canvas by the beginning of the class period, please. All right, we're at 24. I'll continue to allow people in, but I'm going to go ahead and take over your screen. And we're going to start off today with another question. So I'm going to throw up a multiple choice question. What I want you to do is read the question, and then mark in the chat function privately to me what you think the correct answer is, okay? That is not the question. Second here, here we go. All right, here's the question, and let me try to zoom in a little bit, see if I can get it to work. All right, it says, which of the following best explains an effect of Spanish voyages across the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans in Europe in the late 15th and 16th century? So go ahead and analyze that as I finish taking attendance here, and then in about a minute, we'll talk about what is most correct. All right, go ahead and answer, please. And let's see how you guys did. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 1, 9, 2, 10, 2, 11, 2, 12, 2, 13, 2, 14, 2, 14, 3, 15, 3, 16, 3, 16, 4, 17, 4, 17, 5, 18, 5, 19, 5. 19 correct, 5 incorrect. Correct answer is C. Okay, so which of the following best explains an effect? So cause and effect effect is something that happens because of something. And so an effect in Europe. So that's a tricky question. It's trickier than you think. It says effect of the Spanish voyages across the Pacific and Atlantic Oceans in Europe. And so an effect in Europe, while it did encourage many governments to expand the use of coerced labor, it didn't expand in Europe. It expanded in Asia and Africa and in the Americas. Led to the rapid spread of epidemic disease such as smallpox. That was in the Americas. Greatly increased interest in transatlantic travel and trade. Boom. That's basically what we talked about for 25, 30 minutes yesterday. So kudos to those who answered that. And then led to the introduction of new staple crops such as sugar. That is also correct, but not as correct as C. All right, so pretty good. Actually pleases me quite a bit. Good job with that. All right. The next thing I wanted to do today is I had a lot of questions about this soapstone. So I'm going to pull this picture back up. And this was the picture that it was kind of a test. I wanted to see how people would react. And I had various different reactions via Canvas and Remind messages. And so I wanted to take a look at it. So I asked you to do a soapstone, which is how you analyze a document, on a picture. And it's an interesting picture because it says the city of Cusco, and then it says, so die Richter war im Sankenkongrech Peru von dem Spaniern eingenommen. So you guys don't speak German, but it says this is from the Spanish perspective. Let's talk about through this. I'm going to use the hand raise function. I want to just go through our SOAPS tone here, soapstone, and see what you guys thought. So, who did we think the speaker was? Because when I went through your submissions over lunch, we had some kind of interesting responses. So let's get a share. Like I said, use the hand raise function, please, on participants. And what do we think about the speaker? Okay, if we got nobody to answer, let's just see what it tells us. All it gives us is a German school around the 16th century. So, all right, we got someone with a hand raise here. Actually, I probably should put up. We got 3 people. My bad, and have it up there. So, Hannah, you had your hand up first. What do you think?
Well, I think we were talking about, you said it was in the Spanish perspective. So we were thinking it was in the perspective of the Spanish conquistador, like Francis. So that's kind of why it shows like more of like the, like the Inca people being like slaughtered by the Spanish. So it might be like a little bias.
Certainly biased. So, but let's go back to the speaker in general, though. Okay, so person who's creating this document, Lily Dole, you have your hand up also. What else can you tell us about the person that's probably creating this document, other than it's from the Spanish perspective? What else might we know?
Okay, so it says it's from a German school, but it doesn't say like the artist or who drew it. And the painting is there, or the engraving is that, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah.
It's not it doesn't look biased because it has like, instead of depicting the like the conquistadors as like good and killing them, they're actually like, it seems like they're more bad in this picture. So I don't think it's biased, but I also don't think it's, I don't know.
You're on the right track, but
Okay.
we need to kind of look at and identify the fact that this is from a European perspective. Okay, that's where you see the Europeans dominating natives, in this instance, Incas of the Americas. And so it's obviously from a European perspective, but and that's really going to affect the author. I mean, if this was from an Inca that had escaped the Battle of Cusco and was going to draw a picture of what was happening, he or she might draw something a little bit different. Okay, so this is someone definitely European. You can see the style of architecture. Does that look like architecture that was in Cusco when you guys saw pictures of what was the remnants of the Inca Empire? No. You got rounded arches and column looking things. This is, again, it's kind of a foolish painting in a sense that it's extremely historically inaccurate too. All right, what's going on then? This is the 16th century, so what's going on in the world that would have affected this document, occasion? Someone besides Lily. Come on, folks. Really need you to participate or make sure you're following along here. This is where we miss out due to being virtual. Anybody want to say what's going on? Okay, let's be obvious. Like the start of global exploration and European competition for areas that were undiscovered or unclaimed by Europeans after Columbus's and da Gama's voyages. Lucy, what else? Hiddle. Lucy, Hiddle, you got your hand up. What else do you want to say? No? Maybe? Okay, apparently she's... Are you there, Lucille Hiddle?
Yeah, sorry, my audio wasn't working for a second. What did you ask?
So, do you have anything to add to the occasion?
Oh, the occasion? Oh, yeah, the Spanish conquistadors are just coming and taking land, and I think they also, this representation was really biased because they might have been trying to like put fear into the people, saying like, look how strong we are and look how good we are, and that we can conquer anybody in our way.
Okay. That might be more of the, I think that's a little bit more of the purpose, to be honest. And subject also. But let's go occasion. So do you think a German school wants to glorify Spanish? A Spanish Roman Catholic conquistador? Now, I understand that we have an incomplete history of the world and that you guys aren't super aware of the Reformation, but a German school that's experiencing the Reformation, going through holy wars due to the split in Catholicism, probably isn't going to likely make it look like the conquistadors were these friendly men who came in and offered peace gifts. This looks pretty gory. This looks pretty aggressive on the Europeans. You see the guns, you see the spears, the swords. Okay, so what we don't have is the complete history of the world, where the occasion would be this is in the midst of the Protestant Reformation as well, where the Germans and the Catholics were not really in union together. Okay, all right, so let's move on to audience then. To whom do we think this German school is going to be making this painting for? What do you guys think? Ethan, what do you think?
I was thinking possibly historians.
Okay, so they wanted to show like what actually happened. Okay, Brooke.
I was sort of like doing it in like a bigger way of thinking about it, like how like anyone who could get access to it, so like it could show how powerful the Spanish conquistadors were and like how their dominance is present, like especially in this picture.
Yeah, remember that the Spanish and early explorers used the claim that they were spreading religion to conquer these lands and take these lands, right? Does that look like they're spreading religion to you, Brooke?
No.
No. I don't think that religion, the spread of religion protecting Catholicism looks like the main motivation here. To me, the main motivation looks like slaughter in order to take their stuff. Okay, so that seems pretty obvious there. So this audience is going to be, yes, for historians, but also for people that wanted to know what actually happened. Okay, versus maybe what the Spanish conquistadors were saying, what the Spanish government was saying. All right. SOAP, purpose. Purpose. Grace, what do you think?
I think the purpose was to depict like a sense, or like to depict the power in Spanish militia and the triumph over the Incas or Native Americans.
Okay, good.
Natives.
Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah, Inca. Lucy McJunkins, what do you think?
I think it's more like informative, just to like it's like a photo that you would see in like a history book. So I think it's just like to show future generations like what happened.
Okay. Lucy Hiddle, you want to add?
Yeah, kind of like what I said before. It's just kind of to show the people like maybe how strong they were and how like they were able to like take it if they really wanted to, and to kind of put fear into the other countries around them, saying like we probably shouldn't mess with them, or we shouldn't even like put up a fight if this is how they defeated like the Inca.
Okay. Do you think a German painting would have made it to civilizations around the Inca?
Probably not.
So pretty much for Europeans here.
Yeah.
All right. The subject is pretty obvious. I mean, this is Pizarro and his men taking advantage of their technology to defeat the Inca in a quasi, it's set in a somewhat European looking setting. So it's a pretty inaccurate depiction of Cusco. Especially when we know that they didn't have concrete. They used dry stone masonry, if you guys remember right. All right. The tone, if this were being said out loud. Somebody who hasn't participated yet, get in here. Come on. Mushi, go ahead.
For the tone, I say it was like violent and like aggressive.
Yeah, I would think so. Violent, aggressive is a good way to put it. Katya, yours was really good. What did you have?
I said it was distressing.
Distressing. What's that mean?
Like you feel hopeless, or the people who are in there are getting defeated.
Yeah, good. So I the slant on this coming from a German is making it look like the Spanish conquistadors were pigs, that they came in and violently destroyed these people, without giving them a chance. All right, anybody else want to share? Brooke or Jill? Jill, you hadn't shared it. What do you think?
I think, especially from the point of the Germans, or I think it's like a really, like, it seems like savage, like disgusting, overly violent,
Sure.
and like kind of like almost not like a premonition, but like a warning that this could happen like somewhere near you.
Yeah. So that's good. Having talked this through, I hope you guys have a better perspective of like the subtle nuances of these documents. Okay. Now, what I would like to do is I'm going to kind of move on from this, and hopefully you had uploaded it. I'm not going to grade you on accuracy right now because we're just practicing this right now. I want effort. Okay. I think most of you know the difference between effort and accuracy. All right. The next thing I wanted to move to show you is not to scare you, just to tell you what we're working towards. And that is the AP exam. Okay. So whether we're in school or online or whatever, the AP exam is going to be May 10th at 8 a.m. And I'm giving this to you directly from the College Board website, so you know I'm not making anything up right now. Right? But the multiple choice, this is what I've been giving you practice questions kind of. Multiple choice is 55 questions. It's 40% of the exam, and you get 1 minute per question. So the fact that I'm letting you take all these tests home at home and do take home quizzes and tests is really not helping you so much. So the less reliant you can get on, especially the tests, not so much the notes quizzes, but the tests, less reliant you can get on having to look everything up and being able to answer it. And that's why I'm practicing in class. That's going to help you there. The short answer, and then one other thing is primary, secondary sources, images, graphs, and maps will be included in almost all of these questions. So that's why we need to practice that also. All right, short answer questions. We'll have to, you're going to end up writing 3 of these. We'll talk more about these later. But today I wanted to talk a little bit more about what's called the DBQ, or document-based question. Okay? The reason why 1 day a week we'll work on primary sources is, 1, that's really how you should view history, through sources, primary documents. But 2, 25% of the AP exam, that's the largest of all of these weights other than the multiple choice, is a set of 7 documents and 1 question, which asks you to follow a pretty specific rubric in writing an essay, and you have to cite at least 6 out of the 7 or 7 out of the 7 documents in your response. That question is going to come from the years 1450 to 2001. So I wanted to stress that fact that we just got into really 1450 yesterday. We started with it. Everything before that won't be on the DBQ per se. Or there won't be a question about it, but you'll still need to have that background knowledge that we've gone over, for the first 7 or 8 weeks. All right. So that being said, of the DBQ rubric, it's based out of 7 points, and one of the points is understanding bias or point of view or historical limitation. And so each year we do a little bit of an activity. We're going to do the same thing this year, and the activity is based on understanding like the bias that goes into an event, okay? Or the limitations of a certain perspective. Okay, the other thing is the long essay question, which you've heard me talk about this already. We've already talked about comparison, causation, compare and contrast. So we've already used those words, which you guys are starting to get more familiar with, which is great. Okay. Let's go ahead and move. This should take me back. And let's go to the activity that I wanted to do today. So under modules, you guys are going to want to look at this. It says Whap 916 point of view. Okay. So North Central High School Whap, understanding bias and point of view. Here's what you guys are going to do. Let's see if I have this downloaded. I think I do. But I got to move your faces out of here. There we go. All right. So you guys are going to download this article. Okay. And it says, write an explanation about what you think actually happened at the event using the documented accounts while considering the source's bias, or point of view. Note that all documents are not equal, and everyone who writes is not an expert. Each has knowledge from a different point of view. Good luck. Okay, and so let me put this in perspective for you. Again, this is fictitious. The annual Carmel Greyhounds versus North Central Panthers football game was played last Friday night. The game was decided when David Houck caught a touchdown pass on the last play of the game, giving North Central a 14-10 victory. Monday morning at school, everyone is talking about the catch and the victory. What really happened? Throughout the day, a number of people discuss the event. As you review each source, it's essential that you constantly ask yourself, what is the reliability and credibility of each person's comment, And what is their particular expertise in the area of high school football? Okay, so what I want you to do is go through, read these 9 documents, and then just you can write it down on a scrap piece of paper, or you can write it down on here, type it on here. What do you think actually happened in the game? Okay, it's 12:40 right now. Let's take about 10 minutes to do this at the most. I got a hand raise from Lucy McJunkins. Yes, Lucy.
Oh, sorry, that was from the discussion thing earlier.
Oh, okay. All right. So, guys, you're going to upload this. And again, read through these and put down what you think actually happened. You probably want to make notes as to whether you think they're credible or not credible when you do it. Okay. You've got till 12:50. Let's do that now. Go. Don't forget, if it helps to say it out loud so you can understand the tone, that might help too. Okay. How close is everyone to being done here? Okay, on the share, if you're done, click the yes button under participants, please. All right. We've got 20 people that said they're finished. So I'm going to move forward here and take over the screen. And we're going to walk through what we think happened here. I'm going to go through each person's perspective and see what we can get to. I don't know why I'm doing that. I have it right in front of me. Okay. Here we go. So, we have first one. We've got Bob Kravitz. Kravitz, dramatic fashion, touchdown pass, leaping catch. Is this credible or not credible? Brooke, what do you think?
I was gonna say not credible because he was phoned in, so he wasn't actually there to witness it happening.
Yeah, and who do you think's phoning in the report?
Probably someone from North Central too.
Yeah, probably someone from who won the game. Exactly. Okay. 2, the kid who caught the ball. What do you think? Mushi, what do you think?
I think he's not like credible, even though he was the one who caught it, because like, I don't know what happened, but like, he just like caught the ball and like it would just say that he caught it. I think it's, I don't know.
If the whole world thought you caught a ball, but you didn't catch it, but they told you caught it, would you tell them you didn't catch it, Mushi?
No, so yeah.
Heck no. You'd take all the credit for it, as I would too. And I would say it was amazing. I would trash the defensive back while I did it, oh yeah, and say we're number one all at the same time. But no bias in that at all. That's sarcasm. Sorry. Doesn't come across the computer so well. All right. Let's go to 3. Mr. Panzer, who's now a teacher at Cathedral. He used to be a buddy of mine. Great catch. Unbelievable. We knew he would come through. We're ready to play. Never a doubt. What do you think, Lucy?
I think that this source might not be the most credible because he's one of the coaches of the football team. So of course he's going to be biased and say like, well, my team's the best and we caught the ball fair and square. But he was there, so he might have seen him catch the ball, but I think he's over exaggerating it.
Okay, good. All right, the cheerleader. It was a totally awesome catch. Totally disgraced the other team. We won the halftime show. Brooke.
I was gonna say that she really wasn't credible because I felt like she was more focused on what like her cheerleading, and just by like saying like those Carmel guys, it just gave me like the impression that she didn't know much about football. So I just think like she just saw it, so she just believed what other people were reacting to it.
Okay, good. All right. Document 5, the NC teacher, the mother. What do we think? Someone new here. Mushi, you already, Hannah Hiddle, you already said something. Somebody else. Lucy, McJunkins. Come on, what do you think?
I would say that this one is probably credible because like it's a mom and like I don't really see like why like a mom would like, especially like if the mom was there, I think she would be like telling the truth kind of.
You think parents tell the truth all the time, huh?
I make it seem like they do.
Yeah, they do. That's their job. Okay. Let's see what Owen thinks, and then Luella. Owen, what do you think?
I would probably think the exact opposite. I would think a mom would be biased, would be biased for her kid.
Maybe possibly biased for a kid in the team. Okay. Luella, what do you think?
I was thinking the same thing. Like she's a mom, so she's probably just gonna be like, "Oh yeah, they did good."
Yeah. Yeah. My dad used to tell me I played fine when I got in the car and I knew I sucked. He'd be like, "Oh, you gave up 10 runs pitching 3 innings. Good job. Oh, you just tried your hardest. You were lying so bad." All right. That's the idea there. All right. Document 6, the defensive back who was called trash by David Houck. The guy never caught the ball. He pushed off. Luella, what do you think?
He just sounds like annoyed that they lost.
A bunch of cheats. Yeah. So we see the bias there. That's hard to say that that's credible either. All right, let's go document 7, the defensive coordinator for the Carmel High School football team. Lily Dole, I saw your hand up. What do you think?
I think it's not as. I mean, I think it's not as biased because even though he's from the Carmel High, like the school, he still is saying that the kid, what's his name, David,
Yeah.
still had the touchdown.
Okay. Vincent, what do you think? Vincent, you're breaking up on us, bud. It's hard to hear you. Vincent, I'm sure what you said was great, but we didn't hear anything. Wow. Try that. Anybody else on document 7? Anybody else on document 7? I can't hear anything that he's saying. All right, so less biased, but still, some nights you just get lucky. So he's calling him lucky. Let's go document 8. And Mushi, what do you think?
I think it was somewhat credible because the ref was there and like the ref shouldn't be like biased. She should be like reffing the game. I think it was credible.
Okay, so the ref credible, not biased. And he's not promoting either side. Jackson?
Yeah, because like the ref is supposed to be like the guy that's supposed to be like completely not biased, like judging the game to make sure all like the points are like allocated properly and everything.
Okay. Document 9. The University of Nebraska assistant coach, Ashton James. What do you think?
I think it is credible because he shouldn't be biased against either teams because he's not a part of either team. So he shouldn't be biased.
Okay. Victoria, what do you think?
I was gonna say the same thing. I mean, it's just like general information about the player. It's not saying whether like he's not really giving like his own opinion on it. It's just like what he saw.
Yeah. But he's not even saying if it's a catch or not, is he? Did you guys catch that?
It's just background information.
Exactly. That's not actually information that's going to help us. So, what actually happened in the game? What did you guys think? Let's go through the top. All right, Luella, what do you think actually happened? Make it quick.
I think he did catch it, but I don't think it was all that interesting. Just kind of
Okay,
like
good. Hannah, what do you think?
Yeah, I too also thought he caught it, but I think the reason why so many people were like speculating about it is because like it was surprising because he was known for not having that good of hands.
Okay, Lucy Hiddle, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he caught the ball and then people just really hyped him up for it because he's like, because it's your team that's winning too.
Okay, Lucy McJunkins.
Yeah, I agree with like everything. Like he definitely caught it, but I don't think he's a.
Okay, Brooke, last one. Lucy, we lost you.
I think it was a catch too, but like just how they're saying, since from the Sky report, it sounded like he wasn't as good as the catch made him seem, but just because the people thought that he wasn't capable, they should just believe that he could do it and like trust the refs too, since they are the most credible.
Okay. Good. So, what's the purpose of Mr. Brunette giving you this fictitious thing? And I hope you guys understand that this is that when you guys see primary sources and you see sources, you look at them for their limitations and you look at them for the credibility of who is writing it and what perspective they're coming from. We have to continue to do this the rest of the year. Obviously, it's important on the AP exam, but to be realistic, it's important about almost everything you read and look at in your life too. Okay. For tonight, I know the bell just rang. Tomorrow we're going to do themes in class. I'm not assigning a specific theme. Make sure you have notes on all the themes. You need to go back. If that's not how you're taking notes, you need to make sure you go back and have notes on all 6 of the themes, and you're ready to randomly be assigned one tomorrow. Okay. Have a wonderful evening, folks. Thanks for your participation.